Watch for these neat little horned larks now in the winter when they come to the roadsides to gather grit, especially after a fresh snow. They're mostly brown in color and about the size of a bluebird, and they'll usually be in flocks. And they will be mixing in often with some other winter birds, Lapland longspurs and snow bunting. So if they happen to land like this one, you'll be able to see the little black horns on their head and then the little yellow chin patch that they have right there. The horned lark is a resident bird here in Iowa. So they like to nest in real short grass or bare ground areas in the summertime. In the summer, we don't see that many horned larks. Our resident birds, there aren't that many. And in fact, the horned lark population has declined about 75% in the past 50 years. So their numbers are not encouraging. But in the wintertime, we get horned larks that move in from northern Canada as well. So the numbers bolster up a bit then. These colorful green sunfish are always fun to catch, even though they don't get that big. Top end for a green sunfish here in Iowa is only about 6 inches long, but the neat thing about a green sunfish is they're just super aggressive. And if you're looking for, a fish for a youngster to really have fun catching, green sunfish is going to fit that bill. They have a bigger mouth than, say, a bluegill or a pumpkin seed. And then they have a black ear flap that has a kind of a pale outer edging to it, as you see there. Oftentimes, too, their fins are going to be, especially their kind of a back fin on the bottom there, is going to be edged in orange. So they're quite beautiful, especially in spawning colors in the month of May here in Iowa. But they can tolerate water that's maybe not as clean as bluegills and pumpkin seeds, so you can catch them just about in any little pond here. Throw out a piece of worm or maybe even a little artificial fly or jig, and you might get your own green sunfish. These California Martian bog beetles are really beautiful, and in fact their back look like it's decorated with little blue jewels right there. But I guess if there's a bad thing about the California Martian bog beetle, it's they're so very small. You can fit about 4 of them on your little fingernail. So they're very small and hard to see. You'll find them in kind of boggy, marshy, wet habitats. So put on your mud boots and go out there, and they're going to be skittering across the mud almost like a tiger beetle. And in fact, they almost look like a baby tiger beetle out there. But they eat other little invertebrates that they find in those muddy habitats right there. And I find them usually in quite early in the spring, the month of April. They kind of like cold conditions and probably even almost maybe go into hibernation mode in the summertime. But be looking if you're out in a local marsh for the California Martian bog beetle.